I'm making a recording of a program that I saw a couple of days ago. And like the heading says, Trump is Maga. He is making America great again. Even though I don't think he foresaw the intended consequences. I look at it like this, his chief strategist, Steve Bannon, was he's not as really as smart as he thinks he is. To me, he's like a character in a romantic novel. That, it's a novel and everything's perfect. It's been well written, but in reality, it's just not true because that's not how things work out. A lot of the people that are going to be in this segment, I was in contact with, because I'm anti-racist. I'd been in contact with them through social media for a long time. I was in contact with them, of course not in a good way, because if anybody knows me, especially my haters, they know that, I'm not really in contact with you in a good way. But I told them exactly everything that was going to happen to them. And sure enough, it happened. The funny thing is that all these individuals thought that there was just going to be this big whirlwind, and within a year, this country is going to be some kind of a Fourth Reich. It's not going to happen. That's what the term institution is. Nazis are not patriots. Confederates are not patriots. You want to know who patriots are? Those are the real people in this country who see this country for what it is and what it can be. Those are the patriots. Here we go.
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Last year, white power marched through the streets of Charlottesville, without hoods and without shame.
This is the largest nationalist rally in over 2 decades. They've had to bring in leftists from around the entire country to try and stop us.
What just happened?
They based me. Fuck!
We're not non-violent. We'll fucking kill these people if we have to.
There's bodies laying on the ground right there!
The intensity of the weekend was only heightened by the president.
This egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
They promised more marches, more hate.
We are stepping off the internet in a big way. You ain't seen nothing yet.
I think that a lot more people are going to die before we're done yet, frankly.
But that's not what happened.
Not that I'm the tidiest guy on any given Friday, but like a year ago, I thought I was leaving for 2 weeks, and then the pipes burst, and I acquired a whole bunch of shit, so my place is more of a mess than usual. If you could not pay extra special attention to that, I'd appreciate it.
We will never give in. We will never back down. And we will never stop fighting for this land that we love.
Chris Campbell spent most of the past year in Virginia, in jail or under GPS monitoring, after being charged with a felony for macing people at the Torch March. He pled guilty to a misdemeanor and was banished from the state for 5 years. He's been home for 2 weeks, podcasting from his apartment.
All right, on with it. Welcome to the Radical Agenda. It's a show about common sense extremism where we talk about...
Cantwell doesn't look like he did a year ago, and neither does the alt-right.
How did Charlottesville change the alt-right?
I think it tested a lot of people. And a lot of people were understandably scared by what happened, right? There's a lot of violence, a lot of chaos, a lot of lawfare. Guys are going to prison over this. And there wasn't a whole lot of agreement about how to go forward, and that to put it charitably, left us fractured.
What happened to members of the alt-right who were in Charlottesville?
A lot of guys lost their jobs. A lot of people got banned from social media. You know, I was permanently banned from Facebook. I was permanently banned from YouTube. All of us were banned from the major crowdfunding platforms, payment systems, PayPal, Stripe. There was a massive effort to make it like we didn't exist.
The alt-right wanted to show the world they were bold and unashamed of their racism, but they underestimated both the law and their opponents.
Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory!
Richard Spencer had been a white nationalist for a decade, but when he hailed Trump, he became the face of the movement. He launched a college tour in late 2016, but after Charlottesville, his events were much harder to pull off.
Racist piece of shit!
At his last public speech at Michigan State in March, Spencer was marooned in a remote livestock building. Students were on spring break.
From the west to the east!
Watch a Nazi in the teeth!
Come! We're charging the 600 of you!
Nazis go home! Nazis go home!
All his event really did was unite the opposition, liberal activists and Antifa, who have vowed not to be complacent like 1930s Germans who let Nazis take power. Most of Spencer's supporters couldn't get in because they were blocked by counter-protesters. The audience was largely reporters.
I think it's a success because I am able to talk to everyone here. This is what I want. This is absolutely a success. Now,
the common factor to all of these violent acts is Antifa. Their whole little disgusting lives are based on deplatforming, being nasty, and attacking people and so on. I'm not going to let the Antifa win because I'm smarter than the Antifa, which isn't saying much.
A few days later, he reconsidered and called off his college tour.
Antifa is winning to the extent that they are willing to go further than anyone else.
His vision of pushing white power deeper into the mainstream hit a wall. Spencer has left DC and moved back west.
just a day in the park.
Matthew Heimbach was also a headliner at Charlottesville, and he also launched a college tour, starting at the University of Tennessee. He'd been a well-known white power activist since college and wanted to recruit Bernie bros by emphasizing the socialism in National Socialism.
We've got about 100 people registered between students on campus, locals, and folks who are meeting us here. So that's going to be the big thing, is to get everyone here and get everyone together.
But again, counter-protesters outnumbered them and made it uncomfortable to be a Nazi.
Nazi stuff! Nazi stuff! Nazi stuff! Nazi stuff!
Heimbach didn't have hundreds, just a couple dozen Nazis from the parking lot. In March, Heimbach was arrested in a domestic violence incident when he got caught having an affair with his stepfather-in-law's wife, according to police. He pleaded not guilty, but he quit politics and the Traditionalist Worker Party dissolved. Others have quit more quietly. This guy was the face of racist rage. He's gone mainstream. We found him at CPAC, the biggest convention for the conservative movement.
Well, after Charlottesville, I kind of want to, get back a little bit of politics, but be in a much more tamed environment, obviously.
Most of the people still in the movement are people with nothing to lose. Cantwell lives alone. His only source of income is his racist content business. It's not reliable because he keeps getting booted by companies that process credit card payments. He says he's got over 10,000 listeners.
Quality on Radical Agenda, what's your agenda?
Recent reports indicate that the Patriots and the commies are going to have a big rumble in Portland, Oregon
I understand we're facing a very serious problem, guys, okay? And I don't want to, suggest that nobody should ever do anything about it, but don't fuck around before the goddamn midterms, okay? We do not want another Charlottesville 3 months before we go to the goddamn polls.
I'm looking at the upcoming elections and I'm saying to myself, it's a good thing for us to stay out of the spotlight.
Why is that?
Look at the election that happened in Virginia right after Charlottesville. Didn't work out very well, right? But the elections happen, and then we can pop back up and screw around with the Overton window, but we should not be screwing around with elections.
Shifting the Overton window means shifting the political debate. So what was once forbidden becomes fringe, and what was fringe becomes mainstream.
Do you seek to influence the policy of the Republican Party?
I seek for better controlled people who sympathize with me to influence the policy of the Republican Party.
You mean keeps the Nazi stuff on the down low?
Even if I hadn't gotten branded the crying Nazi after Charlottesville, I'm just in no position to be involved in electoral politics. I just made too many mistakes.
Do you think the GOP is adopting any of the alt-right's ideas?
Not explicitly. It might be influencing it, though. We're influencing culture, and culture influences politics.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, let me put it this way. So I just feel like you're saying it both ways. Like,
so what I'm
people
trying,
just have
here's what I'm
common
trying
sense
to,
about
here's the difficulty of it, okay? You're trying to tie the Republican Party to the alt-right because you think that'll be politically advantageous for you, and I think it's a disgusting tactic, and I'm trying not to help you. The fact of the matter is, the more the left goes fucking insane and drives up hyper awareness of the racial tensions, more and more people come to us, and that's a very good thing. And that is going to start influencing politics if it hasn't already.
So can we talk about strategy and tactics?
Sure.
What do you think they should be for the alt-right?
As far as I'm concerned, the priorities are secure communications and ability to do business. So I'm trying very hard to promote the cryptocurrency adoption. And of course, it doesn't matter how secure your protocols are if you don't know who you're talking to. And so we need to start meeting each other in person and developing networks of trust.
Do you think there should be public events?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, one of the things that I mused about recently was if we could get ourselves well enough organized and communicating securely enough that 100 Nazis could show up somewhere for an armed demonstration without anybody getting wise to it and then disappear just as mysteriously. I don't know exactly what would happen next, but that sounds like a really good goal.
I'll say it again. Nazis are not patriots. And back to the romanticism. These people ought to realize that everything that they thought they built over the years through social media, Trump destroyed. And that's how that goes. You have to support the fact that this world is vast and it's diverse. And the fact that there is no such thing as superiority. Any race being superior to another race is bullshit.